Okay guys, here we go. This is our first outing on video for American Truck Simulator, and let's have a look at where we are going. Now, we're still early on in my career. I'm still a freelance driver, so I don't have my own truck yet. I'm going to have to make the move and get a bank loan and then buy my own truck. But we're doing a delivery which is... Now, where are we? Are we here? Yeah, we're here. We're in Santa Cruz and we've got a delivery going down to Prim, and we'll see how we get on with that. Right. So the first thing about American Truck Simulator is, just to simplify things, it's a lot more tougher to park the truck, because the truck itself, okay, we know what American trucks look like, but the trailers is, a lot of the trailers are longer than what they are in Euro Truck Sim, and these American trucks aren't as manoeuvrable as they are in Euro Truck. And of course you get different rules of the road as well, and the parking is certainly more of a challenge. Now, the first challenge I've got is working out how the hell I get out of here. Now, is it that way or is it that way? Right, so we're sitting facing that direction, so it's got to be left and then right. Well, that looks a bit of a narrow exit there, so I wonder whether we can go out and around these trailers and back out behind the building there. It's difficult to know, but I'm making a guess that we can, and if we can't, then it's going to be tough just to exit the location we're at. I think it's past that sort of box that's there. That's the way out. Right, so I think we're on full beam. Right, so let's start the engine, and well, fingers crossed we do find a way out. I'm going to try that direction there first of all. Right, anyway, let's get into gear. This is probably going to be my first mistake. Now, please say there's a way around here to get out. No, there isn't. Well, that's screwed that idea. Right, so that's a tight turn. That's a really tight squeeze. Right, I think we've made it. Just got to keep your eye on the back end of the truck that it isn't going to get cut off a building or something, so we're okay there. Now, we're going right. Nothing coming there. What time is it? It's just gone midnight, so the road should be quiet, I would imagine. We've got a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, and we have, what, 370 odd miles to go. I haven't even checked to see when we're actually meant to be there. Oops. Oh, I made that brake too soon. And we're in the wrong gear. Make sure the back end gets round. Let's have a quick check and see. Wrong one. Let's see, we're to be there between 5 to 6 on Friday, and midnight Saturday, so we've got like a 6 or 7 hour time slot to get there. And this is Friday. Well, we've just started Friday really. Right. Not much to see at night, but there is some spectacular scenery. There's only the 2 states in this game so far. We've got California and Nevada. The next one, or the next state that's going to be released, I believe, is another, I think it's another free downloadable content, and that'll be Arizona. And I think then after that, I might be wrong, you know, somebody could probably correct me on that, but I thought I read that Arizona was going to be the next one, which isn't quite finished yet, and it's going to be the sort of last free downloadable content before they start doing any chargeable downloadable content. Of course, the game's in its infancy, so once the modders get a real hold of it, we'll probably have some of the modding teams getting into this and doing some good maps for it. There's still a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit here. We don't want to get caught speeding. Well, that was handy. I think we're pushing it with that gear, are we? We'll go back down. Well, it's certainly, being as it's midnight, it looks as if we're going to arrive there maybe sometime after dawn. Right, well, we go full beam and just blind the other drivers, that way we can see the road better. And I think depending on where this cargo's meant to be dropped off is going to determine how many hours it's going to take me to park this bloody truck, because parking trucks in Eurotruck generally is a lot easier, but my hand-to-eye and foot coordination in video game driving games has never been good. So fingers crossed. But you'll see it all in its gory detail when we get there. Let's see what this baby can do. Oh well, we're not going to do much. We're back down to 35 now. Better watch the cops aren't around. I'm looking forward to once the modders do get a hold of this game and really start going, because they are already. I mean, there's a couple of maps out. Admittedly, they seem to be rushed out. Not a lot to them, so I haven't actually installed any of them yet to have a look at them, because I don't think it's worthwhile at this early stage. I would imagine, I mean, when you bear in mind that Eurotruck's been out for what, 3 years now at least, and there's some great maps out there, but great maps take time and work and a lot of testing, a lot of feedback. So I think with this game it's got a lot more potential, bearing in mind where the game is set. You've got 50 states, well 49 if you don't include Hawaii. Although you might be able to get onto a big cargo jet and fly over to Hawaii and then drive around the islands, who knows? I mean, anything can happen, but with all these states that you have in the United States, you've got the great potential for some huge maps, and not just United States, going into Canada, Could even go down into Mexico, over the border, down into Central America, and even beyond. It's all down to the modder's imagination. What's that sort of buggy looking thing up there? Ah, it's a gate, that's what it is. I was wondering what that sort of shimmering was. Right, anyway. So is that the interstate, the freeway, or whatever they call it? Now, I think I can see a little bit of daylight. And we've got about 270 miles to go. Rolling and tumbling here. That's the one thing with these trucks. There's only the 2 trucks in it at the moment until they sort out their licenses. But the one thing I've still to get used to, obviously, is the gears. And how much pull you get through these gears, so there's bound to be a few duff mistakes with the gearing. I'd love to be able to see this landscape. Right, so we are joining the freeway now. Will be in a minute. Let's get down the gears. So hopefully not a lot of stuff coming up on my left here. This has been straightforward so far. We're just over speeding slightly. And we're also going to have to slow down because we're going to exit here. Going through Bakersfield. Get right down the gears again. Nothing coming that way. Oh, there we go. Just caught him at the last minute there. That guy stopped here. He's given me a wide berth. Curious that, oh, now we're down to 30. I was just wondering why we're still at a 55 mile an hour speed limit when I'm looking at the buildings round about. You know, the sort of general rule in the UK is, I don't know about Europe so much, but the rule in the UK is that if there's street lights, it's usually 30 miles an hour unless stated otherwise. Ah, well, that's us heading. Is that us heading in or out of Bakersfield? Bakersfield's up to the right there, so this looks as if it's an exit. Yeah, I think Bakersfield's in to the right. And we're actually speeding again. I need to keep my eye on that. Now I've got the game, you can, in the actual options, you can actually set the game so it gives you the choice of the difficult parking where you actually have to park the truck, but you can still bail out of that. You can still just hit enter and the truck will park itself automatically. Well, you know, it skips the parking bit, but you don't get the bonus XP points, so what's the point? And how do you improve at the game if you don't keep practicing driving and parking? Sorry. Well, there's the daylight coming now. Right, so we've got just over 200 miles to go. The only other additional thing in this game as well, I mean, there's a few additional tweaks. This game has way stations where basically as you're driving along you'll get a pop-up telling you that one of these way stations is coming up and that you must go into it. If you don't go into it and get your truck weighed, you'll get fined. I haven't had that yet, and I think the reason I haven't had it is because I'm still freelance, because I don't have my own truck. That's probably the case, but then again, you never know, it might happen. Looks as if we're heading out into the desert. Oh, my stomach. I've just had something to eat as well. But you can see how much work and effort goes into making these games. It's really, you know, to look at it, it's a beautiful landscape, but you've got to look closer at all the other little details that are going on round about you. Now there's something there. Is that animals? Yeah. No, it's tumbleweeds. There we go. Tumbleweeds blowing across the road. So this is the thing about, this is what's fascinating about it, is actually when it's a new game, is looking at all the wee things round about, all the buildings, looking at the neon lights, all the little signs, and it's all of those little assets that are put into the map and into the game that add those finishing touches. And we've got a sunrise coming up just to our left there, and I think I need to get down a gear somehow. Hang on. That's better. That's what happens as well when you're talking and looking around, you forget about the gears. And remember, when you're freelance, your fuel and maintenance costs are all paid by the company that's hiring you, so you don't have that expense. So you get to the point where you have to make that commitment and take out the bank loan and buy your truck, because that way your progress will advance quicker. You'll get bigger payments for the jobs that you do, but the downside of that obviously is you've got all your maintenance costs and you'll be paying all your fines as well. Well, you pay all your fines at the moment. If you get caught speeding, it comes straight out your bank balance. Now we're going left up at the next junction. Look at that landscape. There we've got big cactuses on the left there. Now this might be tough actually trying to join this interstate, because we're having to cross the traffic, remember, and we're right down the gears. And this guy ahead of us, or these two guys here, are all wanting to turn left, so they've already crossed the line, so they're committed to go. So I have to give way to them. And of course there's no traffic lights here. So now there's nothing coming there, so I can cross. And now the question is whether they'll give way. Now these two guys here are. That truck isn't. Those cars there aren't. That's a police car. That car there isn't. Right, I'm going now. Sometimes you just got to bully your way onto the road, and eventually AI will get the idea and stop. Well, the one good thing so far as well I've discovered is that this map doesn't have any roundabouts on it so far, because that's the AI's nemesis. And if you've seen Eurotruck videos, you'll know that the AI seem to have a misunderstanding on how roundabouts work. They work on the principle that if they see a slight gap and you're not in that gap, they're going to bang straight through it, and very often they'll collide with you and you're the one that gets fined. Now we're going through Barstow. That's us in top gear, 13, is it 13 gears? Yeah. Now, I can put the full beam off now. It's what, 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:40. The obligatory balloons are there again as well. I don't know what it is about SCS, the developers. They seem to think that people go about in hot air balloons all day. Now we've got a flow of traffic joining the freeway from our right, so I've got something coming up my left here. Let's go over and do the right thing. Back in. .41 miles to go, so we're almost there. And the fun will start when we have to park this damn thing. That looks pretty close to the freeway. Right, let's have a little zoom in, make sure we get the right turn off. So it's quite a ways in now, so we're at Prim and we are leaving at this next exit. Now, oh, there's Walbert's. No doubt a play on words there. And we are heading in here to the right, so now how do we approach this parking? Let's have a look. Where the hell's the parking spot? I see something flashing up here. Right. Now bear with me guys. Remember, I'm not great at parking the truck. So it looks as if we're going into that spot there. This will be fun. Right. So we need to get right up and around and get the trailer swung round. Right, to the external view. Let's have a look. Oh, that's nowhere near it. Now the problem is the depth of view that you've got here. That trailer needs to turn very quickly. Right. Going the wrong way. Back out here to square ourselves up a bit. Is it going to accept that? Isn't. Gone too far the other way? Yes, I have. I told you this will take a while, guys. That'll do, that's as good as it's going to be. Right, so excellent according to that. I wouldn't say the parking was excellent, but we've got all the XP that's available. We're at level 6, we are an enthusiast, and that's our delivery done on American Truck Simulator. Oh, it was a whole stack of TVs and everything. Looked to see what they were. So out of all of that, I get $5,679 and 481 XP points. Wow.